All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the quarterfinals. We've got half the quarterfinals left for the men. It's also semi-final day for the ladies, so it is a bit of a hectic one again. But yesterday was crazy. We had 4 really good matches. We didn't have one bad match yesterday. They were all crazy. So hopefully we get today is the same. Sinner versus Tiafoe, first match of the day. Sure, I guess. I'm not sure why. Why wouldn't the Americans? Maybe Sinner wanted to play during the day. I don't know. But yeah, this is the first match of the day. Kind of like yesterday with Pegula and Raducanu. It was like, okay. Like, can you imagine if the night session would have been the first match and the last match yesterday? That would have been the best night session ever. But hey, they scheduled it for a reason. I don't know why, but they do. And then we've got Gauff versus Mukova next, which is fair enough. They played 2 days ago. Then yesterday, the winners of yesterday played last today, which is Raducanu and Sabalenka. And then we have Zverev versus Cerundolo as well. They played a lot in the last 12 months. They've played a lot. So it's a busy, busy day again. And then tomorrow's semi-finals for the men. And then over the weekend, it's one match at a time. We go slow it right down, and we crawl to the finals. But yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see if Big Fo can put on a bit of a performance here. Sinner's the heavy favorite. So yeah. Cam, you look refreshed? Do I? Okay. Well, that's good. I feel refreshed. I can't wait to get a full night's sleep. When was the last time I slept a full night? I don't even remember. Just realized that if Coco and Raducanu win, we might get a Coco-Raducanu battle for the first time. Second time. They played once. But we're not going to get that because it's not allowed. That's illegal. Remember? That's in the rulebook. They're not allowed to play. Why has Alcaraz been losing so far? Well, he lost. Because I don't think we should be too worried about Alcaraz. I think you know what it is. I think the easiest answer is burnout. That's probably the best explanation. Burnout. That's probably it. Sinner all the way. I hope Big Fo could put on a show though. I hope we can. If he got the first set, that'd make it really interesting. Is Sinner burnt out? Well, no, because he isn't the world number 1, so he's not like trying to defend that throne. There's a different pressure. Spanish journalist from Rafa Academy giving news. Swiatek practicing in front of Roy at the Rafa Academy. Hey, we talked about it. We said that could be an option. Empty stadiums, even in one of the Alcaraz matches. What? Carlos might be taking opening rounds too casually. Again, he already told us the reason. I don't know why we're trying to guess. He said that everybody plays like Roger Federer against him. Like every time he walks out on court, first round, second round, final, whatever it is, every single player he plays is trying to beat him, right? Is trying to be is putting on the performance of their life. He's playing the best version of everybody, right? And we've seen that, right? We've watched him every match this year, and there hasn't been too many players that have come out and played bad against Alcaraz. They've all played it like it's a Grand Slam final, and he's had to defend. He can't afford to play a bad match, right? Whereas maybe in previous seasons, not like last year. He played a couple of bad matches last year and got away with it. But this year he hasn't been allowed to play a bad match because the second he plays a bad match, the other guy's playing so well that he's gonna lose. So yeah, and I think we underestimated the pressure of that streak, right? Everybody was expecting him to win 40 matches and beat Novak's record and blah blah blah, and I don't think we I think we underestimated the fact that that was a very mentally taxing thing to try and, keep up that level, right? He might have been better off losing a match in Doha, right? And then coming to Indian Wells with, without that extra pressure. Also, he's lost 2 matches to Medvedev and Korda, and they both played fantastic. So, and Alcaraz hasn't played bad in those matches. So I don't think we need to, again, I don't think we need to be that worried about Alcaraz. He just needs to go and have a bit of some time off and then come back and play on the clay. When he starts losing to like 2 or 3 matches in a row to players like outside the top 100 or 50, then we can talk about it more. I don't think we need to worry about Alcaraz. He just needs to take some time for himself, and he earned it. Top players, me, want to see Carlos rather than Sinner across the court. Top players want to see Carlos instead of Sinner across the court? I mean, but why? Why? I think nobody wants to see either of them. Yeah, there's ebbs and flows. But yeah, I mean, look, end of February, how much the conversation changed. 4 weeks ago, so many people were talking about how Sinner was all of a sudden not very good. And he was, everybody had figured him out, right? Everybody had figured out Sinner. And Sinner actually isn't that great of a player, and he wasn't that. People had caught up to Sinner, and he wasn't. It was an Alcaraz tour, and it wasn't Sinner and Alcaraz anymore. And Sinner was back in the pack now, and you're like, and now 3 weeks later, here we are, and we're talking about Sunshine Double. We're talking about not dropping a set for how many Masters, right? And we're talking about Alcaraz being the one who is in trouble, and. It happened. This is we get very reactive. We need 2 tournaments is not enough to base off like that somebody's in serious trouble, right? We need at least a 5 tournament minimum. This would be a weird matchup with the conditions in Miami. Yeah, well, it's just a nice day, so I don't think the conditions. It's not. I mean, is it? It was a little bit cloudy. Hey, Franco, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate it. In January, we thought Carlos isn't going to lose a match, and Sinner was too predictable. But now Sinner flipped the script. Yeah, well, no, I don't think Sinner flipped the script. I mean, I think that people, I think that the script has been picked up another script. Like it's just like. Chat. At the end of the day, this is my assessment of the tour, right? With Sinner and Alcaraz, they're both fine. They're both doing fine. They've both had great results, and they've both had surprising losses. This time last year, one of them wasn't playing, and the other one wasn't playing well, right? I mean, remember Alcaraz last year? He had lost like some strange matches. He lost a match against Djokovic that he should have won in Australia, right? He lost in Doha, I think, to Lehechka. Right? He'd won Rotterdam, but then he came in, lost Indian Wells, lost first round Miami. I mean, he was in a way worse position 12 months ago, Alcaraz. And he was also, there was a chance to get number 1, remember, because Sinner had been told to go on holiday for 3 months. So there was an opportunity for Alcaraz to be number 1, and same with Zverev. 12 months ago, Alcaraz was in way worse of a position. And I don't remember it being this big of a deal. So yeah, I think Sinner and Alcaraz 12 months ago were in way worse position than they are right now. I think they're both fine. Korda played fantastic. I don't know why people aren't talking more about that. Alcaraz has 2 losses, and all of a sudden it's like last year was way worse. He lost to Draper, which was a very strange scoreline, and then he lost to Goffin out of nowhere, and it was like, oh, that was some alarm bells. And then look what he did after that. He went and won Monte Carlo. He made the Barcelona final. He won Rome. He won Roland Garros. He won Queen's Club. He made the final. Yeah. And then Sinner 12 months ago, when he came back, he made the final of Rome. He made the final of Roland Garros, won Wimbledon. If Alcaraz gets to Madrid and he hasn't won a title and he's lost, badly in Monte Carlo and Barcelona, then then we can start to be worried, I think. You mean Sinner got caught? No, I mean Sinner got a 3-month ban. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. You know, we're not. Don't do it. It's been 12 months. Move on. It's always wonderful seeing Big Foe doing well. Yeah, I hope we can push Sinner because I'm a little worried that his game being not as aggressive as Mickelson, right? Mickelson was really good the other day. I'm a little worried that Big Foe is going to... I hope he doesn't get... I hope it's not straightforward. It'd be a shame if Sinner just kind of won like 3-2. Be like, oh. But we'll see. It all comes down to Foe's aggressiveness. If he can show his aggression. Is aggressiveness a word or is it the word aggression? The odds are in favour of Sinner. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, to walk out of clay series number 1? Yeah, I mean, he's got more to gain, right? And there's way more to lose for Carlos. First match of the day is brutal for crowd energy, lifting Foe's level. Yeah, there's actually a decent crowd, though. They're slowly coming into the stadium. So it's at first it looked like it was going to be a bit of an empty one, but there's a lot of people there. Or at least there's a decent amount of people there for the first match of the day. God, I really hope Foe can flex a little bit. That'd be great. Just to see Tiafoe just kind of, make Sinner sweat. Yesterday was a great day. It was crazy. I like both, but Sinner is going to calmly take it in 2 sets, hopefully for 3. Okay. But the winner of this will play the winner of tonight's match between Zverev and Cerundolo, and then you got Lehechka and Feast up the top. I kind of like that match. I like Feast Lehechka. I think it's almost like for Lehechka, it's like, oh, cool. It's about time. That he should be getting to a semi-final of one of these big tournaments. And for Feast, it's a great comeback. He's been having a phenomenal comeback season. So I like that match, even though it's a bit random. I like that there's a guy who's sort of like the Sinner generation who has been a threat, right? He's beaten Alcaraz. He's been a bit of a threat. And then Feast, who also has been a threat. So it's cool to see a couple of those guys, different names, but also this is part of the generation. These are the guys from this generation. Feast Paul tiebreak was surreal. Yeah, that final set tiebreak was crazy. That whole match was crazy. Was that match of the year? It's got to be up there. By the way, I loved Feast's. If you go, I retweeted it on that social media platform. I don't know what's called. What's called today? But yeah, I retweeted the reaction when he walked off the court with his team. That was so good. Like that was such a great reaction from Feast. I love that. Like he was just celebrating and like him and his team he just tackled his team to the ground. It was so fun. I was like, he was so fired up. I watched the replay with the commentary. I just couldn't keep my eyes open last night. That's all right. That's all right. We gave a shout out to all the people that didn't stay up at the end of the match. I had way too much money on Feast last night. That tiebreak was a roller coaster. Yeah, that would have been a nightmare. All right. Just warming up the last couple of shots and we get started. These guys have played 5 times. It's 4-1 Sinner. The one win that Tiafoe did have was before Sinner became this beast. So, Fritz out of Monte Carlo. That's a bit of a shame. He's done well. He's done okay there before, so bit of a shame for Fritz, but hopefully it's nothing serious. It was definitely tiebreaker of the year. Yeah. I mean, Tiafoe and Menchik played an awesome tiebreak this week as well. Yeah, it's got to be up there as a candidate of match of the year. Let me see what other matches do we actually have on that list? Because we have written a list. I made a list. So we had Draper Djokovic, Sinner Fonseca, Shelton Fritz in Dallas, and then that match. So they're probably the matches of the year for me, outside of the Slams. Slams, obviously, there's only those two matches the two big ones. Upset of the year, we have to say that Quarter beating Alcaraz is probably upset of the year, right? Have we had an upset of the... I mean, we had Lynette beating Swiatek, which was probably the upset of the... Was that upset of the year? Maybe. Yeah. Eala defeating Pellini. Sakari was... It's funny, we got 3 Swiatek upsets of the year. Svitolina beating Swiatek in Indian Wells was not an upset. Wait, was that in Indian Wells? Did Swiatek lose to Svitolina? Why is that upset of the year? That's not even... That's not an upset. That's not even close to the other ones. Swiatek has had worse upsets, that's why. Lynette beating Swiatek's upset of the year, right? Yeah. And then on the men's side, we got Menchik beating Sinner, we've got Djokovic beating Sinner at the AO, Draper beating Djokovic, and then Quarter beating Alcaraz. I mean, Quarter Alcaraz is upset of the year. I don't even think that's even close. Have we had any matches of the week this week in Miami for the ladies? Has there been any match of the year candidates this week? They're just warming up the serves, ready to go. Have there been any matches of the year this week? Maybe today. Sabalenka. I don't think anything beats Sabalenka or back in her Indian Wells, though. And Boko Andreeva went the distance. I don't think we've had a match of the year candidate this week yet. Not that I can see. Pellini versus Penko was good. All right, here we go. The sun is half in the shade, half in the court. So half sun, half shade on the court. Tiafoe to serve. I'm going to go Sinner in straights, but I hope Foe can steal a set. That'd be awesome. And that goes out by Sinner. It's 15 love. This would be upset of the year by far. Oh, yeah. If Tiafoe was to win this match, that would for sure be upset of the year. Did we not have a match of the year in Indian Wells? Oh, no, we did. It was the final. I'm an idiot. Hang on. Sabalenka. I forgot to add that to the list. There we go. All right, 15 lovers. That goes wide by Sinner. 30 love. $30 love Foe. As he serves again. Fault, second serve. And the backhand of Sinner. Backhand from Tiafoe goes wide. That's 15-30. Uh, 15-30. We got a fault from Foe, second serve. As the backhand return goes into the forehand of Foe. Forehand from Sinner to the forehand of Foe. As Tiafoe hits it out, 30-all. As Foe serves again. Another fault. Second serve. As a return in the net by Sinner. All right, Foe gets to advantage. Let's see if Sinner needs a warm up time again like yesterday. Well, yeah, I mean, the last couple of matches, Sinner's forehand has not been as sharp as it could have been. We saw that against Mute as well. Both Mute and Mickelson were getting a lot of free points from Sinner off the forehand, which is interesting. As with a slice from Foe. Sinner forehand up the line. Foe with a pass. Sinner with a volley. Foe with a lob. Oh, it just went long. That would have been an amazing shot. Deuce. So yeah, let's keep an eye on the Sinner forehand today. See if it's any better. I'll tell you, chat, it's starting to get cold in Melbourne, and I love it. My favorite season is probably fall, aka autumn. The weather, it's raining right now. It's chilly. It's like pizza weather, you know? As with a volley now to the back of the Sinner. Sinner hits a passing shot winner. It's advantage. Sinner. Like it's pizza weather, you know? You want to just watch a movie and eat pizza. Put on comfy clothes. It's that kind of day. All right, backhand winner from Sinner, and it's advantage Sinner to get the break. It's really raining outside now. As we get a fault second serve. Has it been super hot? It was super hot like last weekend. Last weekend was like humid and gross. God, I love rain. I love the sound of rain. As with a backhand return now to the forehand of Tiafoe. Forehand now from Sinner up the line. Slice from Foe. As Sinner with a forehand slice. Tiafoe comes out with a drop shot. Sinner gets with a lob. Foe runs back. Hits a lob back to Sinner. Sinner with a smash. Tiafoe with a pass in the net. There's the break. Okay. One love Sinner. Yeah, it was a hot summer, for sure. For sure. It was like a lot of 40-degree days. There was bushfires, which is always so sketchy. But yeah, it was a really warm summer. Oof. It's cold in the UK now. Isn't that just normal? I still find it weird to have Easter in fall. Yeah. I mean, that's all I know. I had Easter twice in Europe, and that was it. Yep, early break. Thanks a bunch for what you do. By the way, which clay court tournaments will you be streaming next? No worries. So next week, we're having a long overdue holiday because I've been streaming every day for the year, which was not planned, but it happened. We'll probably watch a little bit of Charleston next week. Just see like if there's any good matchups. Because Charleston's a big tournament. I'm not ATP next week. I mean, there's not much going on. Not many players playing. Monte Carlo is the next big one for the men. So we get a week off next week, and then we come back. We watch Monte Carlo, which is like a huge event. One of my favorite events too. And we'll watch a little bit of Linz as well. That's happening that week. So like next week, right? You got Houston, you've got Bucharest, and you've got Marrakesh. And Shelton's the only top 10 player playing in any of those tournaments. There's only 2 top 20 players playing next week on the men's side. So it's you know, that's not going to be. We might watch some of the finals maybe, but we're not going to watch any other thing than that, I don't think. And then next week, Charleston, you got Pegula and Isamova. Alexandrova, Bencic, Jovic, Keys, Fernandez, Penko. Right, it's a pretty stacked event. But again, we're not watching like the whole thing. We're just going to watch like the finals, maybe, or if there's a good like matchup. Sinner hits a 4-hand winner on the stretch, 30 love. So yeah, so that's the plan next week. Yeah. And then, yeah, we'll be back from Monte Carlo and Linz. And then we've got Barcelona. And then we've got Madrid and Rome. So the clay court season gets pretty crazy. 30 love. As we're serving to the backhand, but it's an ace from Sinner. 40 love. Is Alcaraz downfall incoming? No. Nope. $40 love. Sinner serves again. Into the forehand of Tiafoe. Great return. Sinner with a slice. Foe. Forehand to the backhand of Sinner. Tiafoe volleys it straight to Sinner, who hits a passing shot winner. Jeez, Tiafoe had a good volley there, but he just hit it straight to Sinner's backhand, and that was just too easy. All right, 2 love Sinner. Two 0. That dang shadow again, yeah. Do I miss living in Europe? I miss how close everything is to like how like I miss traveling. Like I miss how close it was to everything. As with a 4-4 rally into the backhand of Foe, backhand of Sinner to the forehand of Tiafoe in the net, and it's love 15. Do I miss Japan? Well, I went on holiday there, so I mean I would. Not really. I mean, I want to go again, but I didn't live in Japan, so I don't really miss. I didn't have time to miss it. I was there for like 5 days. First serve's a fault, second serve. Yeah, Australia is far away from everything. As with a forehand out of the backhand of Sinner. Sinner hits a wide 15-0. Did you travel a lot through Europe when you lived in the UK? Yeah. Yeah, I tried to travel as much as I could. Even if it was just for 2 days or a couple of days. Are you from Adelaide? No. All right, 15-0. As that goes the net by Sinner. Good serve from Foe, 30-15. As Tiafoe serves again. First serve's a fault, second serve. Serving the forehand Sinner. Sinner in the net, 40-15. Australia's a perfect country other than how far it is away from everything and the dangerous critters. Yeah, Australia is great. It's just, yeah, it's just very remote. 40-15. As a return goes into the backhand of Foe. Backhand now from Sinner. Goes long. And Tiafoe on the board. All right. 2-1. Sinner with the break. Foe on the board. Australia's air pollution is one of the cleanest in the world. Yeah, there's a lot of great things about Australia. But I also, as someone who likes to get on planes, it's very... Are you the descendant of criminals? God, that's a great... That's very... Thank you. That's really... What... I feel like that was... Who do you know someone at this party? Who invited you? Who invited this guy? Do you know anybody here? Yeah, that was very like he's having a nice chat, and all of a sudden it's like Ah, bro. Didn't read the room at all. When is the best time of year to visit Australia? Probably like maybe October, November, like in spring. Because January, February are way too hot. Like February is like, you don't want to come here in January, February. It's way too hot. Probably here, like coming here in like late in the year, maybe in like as it's getting warmer, probably like November, maybe October, November. I think like the novelty would be to have like, if you want to like have like a summer Christmas, like maybe that come in December. Like maybe that's the, like if you want the novelty of that, of having like a hot Christmas, then maybe coming here in December might be your thing. But yeah, I wouldn't come here in January. January, by the way, don't come in January because everybody has holidays. Like everybody's school holidays. People have work holidays. It's just like January is the worst time of year. That's why the Australian Open is always so busy because it's during the holidays. So everybody's free. It's the worst time of year. It's the worst time of year. And then February is just like too hot. I mean, yeah, come to the Australian Open, obviously, if you want to do that. But if you want to just come to travel, yeah, like October, November, December is probably the best time. So the backhand from Sinner into the backhand of Foe to the forehand of Sinner. Sinner hits a wide and it's 15-0. Cam, if flights sponsored by you, we would love to come to Australia for sure. Oh, so if I pay for it, you'll come to us. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. If I sponsor your flight. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, look, I would love to go somewhere else if you would pay for it. That'd be great. Can you pay for my flight to go somewhere else then? Is that what we're doing? Can you sponsor me to go overseas? AKA just pay for it for me? 30-15. Sinner serves again. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, you want a combination too? All right. Anything else? First serve's a fault, second serve. If you come to Tallinn, McDonald's Happy Meal on me. Oh, man, you're so generous. That's so generous. As we're backing out of the forehand of Tiafoe. Forehand from Sinner is in the net. We've got 30-all here. 30-all. A chance for Foe to get that break back. By the way, remember, Foe was up 40-15 when he got broken, so this could have looked a little bit different had Foe not have lost that game. No, 30-all. Sinner serves a let. All right, serve again. That's a fault. Second serve. As a return. Goes into the backhand of now Foe is backhand rally. Sinner goes again to the backhand of Foe. Into the backhand of Sinner. Foe backhand. Just going backhand to backhand with Sinner. Now Tiafoe runs around. A backhand hits a forehand up the line. Inside in, but it's wide. And it's 40-30. Chance for Sinner to go to 3-1. And Sinner serves again. An ace, all right. no shot for Foe. There's a little glimpse of hope and gone. 3-1. It's freeing when you are not expected to win. You tell that to Foe. He doesn't look free to me. He looks pretty stressed to me. He doesn't look too carefree to me. Looks like looks stressed. Good serve on the tee though. 15 love. All right, good serve again, but the return goes in the backhand of Foe. Sinner with a forehand to the forehand of Foe. Sinner goes up the line of the backhand of Foe into the forehand of Sinner. Tiafoe forehand on the stretch. Sinner goes down the middle as Tiafoe slices back. Drop shot Sinner. And then Tiafoe with a drop shot, but Sinner gets it with an easy forehand winner. And it's 15-0. Just too easy. All right, serve again. Serve again from Foe. Into the forehand of Sinner. Tiafoe forehand back behind Sinner. That was a great shot. That might have been the best shot so far from Tiafoe. Minutes played. 30-15. Sinner returns into the back of the Foe. Sinner again to the back of the Tiafoe. Sinner forehand. Again to the back of the Tiafoe. Sinner into the slice of Foe. That's not a bad slice. Sinner gets it back. Tiafoe slice again down the line. And Sinner forehand to the back of the Tiafoe. Tiafoe in the net. I tell you, those slice backhands were decent from Foe, but they didn't do what they needed to, and that's messed Sinner up. 30-0. Sinner has won every point that's gone over 9 shots in the rally. All right, Tiafoe serves. That's a fault. Second serve. Second serve Foe. Into the backhand of Sinner. Good return. Tiafoe gets it. Sinner backhand. Get into the backhand Tiafoe. And Tiafoe to wide. 30-40. 30-40. Break point for Sinner for a double break. All right. 30-40. Serve out wide as a fault. Second serve. Into the back of the Sinner. Tiafoe forehand cross into the forehand of Sinner as Tiafoe hits a forehand long. That's what I was afraid of. 4-1. Bro, I'm new to tennis. Suggest me which player I should become a fan of. You should become a fan of... You know what, though? You know what? You should watch Carlos Alcaraz. Would be my suggestion on the men's side, because he's the guy that's probably the most exciting player on tour. So you'll be able to like see the best, and he's the number 1 player in the world. You'll be able to see the most exciting tennis has to offer. But also probably if you're new to tennis, maybe not picking one player and just kind of watching a little bit of everyone and then making your own decision. Because you could also like just watch all the tournaments. And then all of a sudden you might be like, I like how this guy plays. And then you might like Sinner more. You might like somebody else. But like Alcaraz is right now is the guy that does everything. So like he plays he's ridiculous. Who's the player that's injured with his cap backwards? Runa. He's fun to watch too. You don't just become a fan, it naturally picks you. Well, that's it. Who's my favorite? Right now? I don't have one favorite, to be honest. Who is more likely to win the Sunshine Double, Sabalenka or Sinner? Sinner. Definitely Sinner. Sabalenka's got to play three. She's got three very tough opponents, whereas Sinner, his road is open. If he can get through Zverev or avoid Zverev, Sinner could win the Sunshine Double. There's no one in it. Feast and Lehechka are playing a 1,000 final for the first time, so they're going to be nervous. Cerundolo, if he beats Zverev, which could happen, Sinner can beat him. So, yeah, I think Sinner, right? Sabalenka's got to play Raducanu, who she nearly lost, who she just beat. And then, Mukova and Gauff can beat Sabalenka too. So, top three all-time favorite players. Leighton. Yeah, that's one. Servo was an ace, 15-0. By the way, did Cruz win yesterday? I didn't. I was too busy doing stuff after the stream. I wasn't able to stick around. Did Cruz win yesterday? All right, Sinner 30-15. He won in straight sets. All right, 30-15. As a return goes in from Foe, but Sinner comes in with a drive volley, puts it away, and it's 40-15. Ah, 40-15. First serve is a fault, second serve. Oh, double fault. 40-30. As Sinner serves again. A massive serve down the tee. All right. 5-1, Sinner. It's a shame because Big Foe, he should have won the first game that he got broken in. And he was 30-all in the game that he got broken the second time. So it's a bit of a shame that that he, 5-1, yeah, it's 5-1, but yeah, Foe, the two breaks of serve shouldn't have happened. Can you suggest where to watch in India? Well, we're collabing with the Tennis TV app, and you can watch on the new Tennis TV app. So go check that out. Link in the chat or the bio in the description, or scan the QR code. You can watch Tennis TV on, I think, there's over 100 countries you can watch it. So go check it out. 15-0. Great serve out wide from Foe. how much is a Tennis TV subscription? It varies from country to country. So you're just going to have to check it out. It's different from country to country. You can buy I think you can buy an annual, I don't know if it's, again, I don't know if it varies from country to country, but you can buy an annual subscription too. 40-15. Tiafoe to make Sinner serve for the set. As the return goes back in a foe. Sinner with a forehand to the back of the Tiafoe. Sinner with a volley is too easy. 40-30. Sinner's won every point of the net that he's gone to the net, and Tiafoe has lost every point. All right, Tiafoe with an ace. And Big Foe holds. But Sinner's going to serve for this set. All right. 5-2. What's the best slam when it comes to time zones apart from AO? French Open. No, Wimbledon. Because Wimbledon has a cutoff time. So I know exactly when I'm going to be starting and finishing stream, so I can plan my time accordingly. The only tournament, and that's why I'm a fan of the curfew. Yeah, okay, it sucks, when we're getting into a really good match and then they cut the match short, but I love the, I actually really, French Open's good because it starts at 7 o'clock my time and it goes all night, but it sometimes finishes at 9, 10 a.m. the next day for me, and it's gotta watch the sunrise and hear the birds chirping, and I'm like, this is just depressing. Whereas Wimbledon, it stops at 11 p.m. local time, so I'm done by that time. There's no chance I'm going longer than that. I know exactly when I'm finishing that, and I can go to sleep straight away. So Wimbledon probably has the best times. Better than Australia even, because like I always say, I'd much rather stay up all night and then sleep all day, and I get half a day to go outside. Whereas during the Australian Open, I don't see anybody for a month. I'm locked in my house for a month. I barely see anybody else. 5-2. Sinner serving for the set. And that's an ace from Sinner. And also, during the Australian time, like I said, January people have holidays, so all my friends and family are not doing anything in January. They're all on vacation, and I'm watching the Australian Open, 16 hours a day, so I can't actually see them. Whereas right now, everybody I know is asleep. It's 4 a.m. No one's awake now. So I'm like, what am I going to do? I ain't seeing anybody right now. Everybody's asleep. 30 love. Yeah, I've been to the Australian Open a few times live. As we had a fault from Sinner, second serve. Serving to the back of the foe. Sinner with a forehand. Winner. Jeez, Tiafoe just stood there and didn't know what to do. All right, 40 love. Sinner to take the first set here. "31 minutes. All right, serve again. There's a fault, second serve. Good second serve. First set, 6-2. Sinner takes it in 31 minutes. All right. This channel fell off really badly commentary declined from the last year. Used to love this channel. Hey, but you're still here, so I appreciate you being here anyway. 9.6 was the performance score rating from Sinner. 7.3 for Tiafoe. No break points against Sinner's serve, and Tiafoe only faced 2 break points, but he got broken both times. So, yeah, that first game when he was up 40-15, he got broken. That set the tone. Sinner, phenomenal serving. His forehand's actually been on fire. Like we said at the start of the match, forehand wasn't great the last 2 matches. It was a bit shaky. Only the 2 errors on the forehand side, unforced errors, and the 6 winners. So the forehand rapidly improved. The serve with 8 aces, phenomenal. 16 winners, 8 errors by Sinner. Backhand a little shaky, but yeah, Sinner, I mean, that's the Sinner that we're used to seeing. Sinner seems to be on a mission, yeah. Yeah, I think the last match with Mickelson might have been a little bit of a scare. Whereas, a couple of matches, when he played Mute, I don't think he ever felt like he was going to lose in Mute. 9.6 is crazy, I know. 9.6 is crazy. I can hear Mia snoring. Yep, Mia snoring. Mia is snoring right there. All right. Yeah, 9.6 is madness. Feast better win his semi against Lehechka. Ooh, okay. Still haven't recovered from his epic, yesterday's epic. I know, right? Yeah, it was crazy. That was so crazy. It didn't even feel like a long match, though. It was only like 2 hours. I think it was like 2 hours and 45 minutes. So it wasn't even like, for the scoreline, it wasn't even like a crazy, what do you call it? Yeah, it wasn't even like a 4-hour epic, which it should have been by the score. Mickelson kind of scary, not gonna lie. Well, yeah, he was. Mickelson should have won that second set. He deserved that second set. He is. We got to start talking about him when we talk about Feast. When we talk about all these young guys, Mickelson's on that list. Tien, Fonseca, Menchik, like Mickelson as well. 15-0. Sinner makes the error. Uh, 15-0. Can you speak slowly? I don't understand. I'm sorry. No. You can put the video on half speed. Maybe that'll help. Is it a backhand from Foe? Into the backhand of Sinner. Tiafoe backhand. Into the backhand of Sinner is Tiafoe with a slice. Into the forehand of Sinner. Tiafoe backhand again. The forehand of Sinner. Tiafoe with a forehand up the line. Sinner's got it back into the forehand of Tiafoe now as Sinner goes down the middle again. Backhand of backhand is Sinner. Again to the backhand of Foe. Sinner backhand on the stretch. Tiafoe forehand inside out. That's a great shot. Sinner with a slice. Tiafoe comes to the net. Up goes a lob. But it's wide by Sinner. Great point by Foe. 30-15. Great point by Tiafoe. We've got Sabalenka Raducanu is coming on straight after this. So stay tuned. 30-15. Great serve. 40-15. Tiafoe to take the first game of the second. Oh, sorry. Coco's playing next. My bad. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. It's Coco versus Mukova. My bad. I'm just getting confused. 40-30. Yeah. Sorry, Coco Mukovic coming up next. I'm getting ahead of myself. We're watching the that Rebecca Sabalenka comes on tonight. 40-30. Yeah, Coco versus Mukovic coming up in after this match. 40-30. Tiafoe serves. Into the forehand of Sinner. Forehand from Foe. Sinner forehand winner. And we get to deuce. This is exactly how the match started. It's exactly the same way. He was up 40-15. He got broken. All right, deuce. Yawning at the Coco match? Why? That's going to be a fire matchup. All right, 4-4 rally. Sinner with a passing shot. Goes in. Advantage Sinner. Great shot. By the way, chat, I always find it so fascinating how Sinner and Alcaraz always seem to find the line. Like, they always seem to just have a little bit more topspin, that it just touches the line when everybody else's shots go out by this much. They hit the line by this much. It's crazy. As we're to find now from Tiafoe, up goes a lob by Sinner. Foe with a smash. Puts it away back to deuce. Hawkeye, I don't think it's lucky. If it was lucky, it would happen once every other match, but it happens every match. Hawkeye is just look, if it wasn't for Hawkeye and it was like we had lines people, they'd be calling those shots out because most people hit them out. And then they'd have to get corrected. We'd have so many challenges. All right, deuce. Back in return. Into the forehand of Tiafoe. Forehand rally. As we get a forehand again from Sinner. Forehand from Foe. I tell you what, Foe's hitting it good, but he's hitting it straight back to Sinner. As he hits the forehand again to the forehand of Sinner. Into the back of Tiafoe. Sinner with a forehand. Into the Tiafoe forehand of the stretch. What an angle from Foe! And Sinner hits it out. Beautiful rally by Tiafoe. He was hitting it back to Sinner for a while, but then he puts it cross court. Just rips it. All right. Advantage Foe. So just get off to a better start in the second set. You chose Raducanu for the first time in your predictions. Did I? I mean, I think I did. I picked her before. First serve is a fault from Foe. Second serve. As the backhand return goes to forehand of Tiafoe. Backhand to Sinner. To the backhand Tiafoe. Sinner backhand. Again, the backhand slice of Foe. Sinner forehand is good. Sinner goes down the line now with the forehand. It's Tiafoe doing all the running. Backhand to backhand rally. As Sinner goes up the line. Foe with a forehand cross. Sinner gets it but shanks it wide and Tiafoe holds. Much better start in this second set. One love. All right. By the way, chat, we're almost at 300 likes, so thank you for that. All right. How we doing? Carlos is apparently still in Miami. He was watching a paddle match. Nice. In Sinner matches, the opponent always has to play on their serve, while Sinner barely has to play. Of course, Sinner is going to win. Yeah. Look, there's definitely, it's fun because it's fun to kind of see, and we've got enough, we've watched these guys enough to know the difference between Alcaraz and Sinner, but it is fun to go, okay, well, if you're going to play Jannik Sinner, you need a big serve, right? You need to have a great, a weapon of a serve, right? To stand a chance. And you need to be aggressive, right? You need to be able to hit through him. if you can, right? Against Alcaraz, historically, the players that he has lost to are not those guys. He doesn't usually lose to the big servers. He usually loses, and I know quarter this week's an exception, but he usually loses to the guys that are a little bit more consistent and rally, right? We saw last year with Norrie and Goffin, right? De Minaur has struggled more against Sinner than Alcaraz over the time, But Sinner doesn't lose to those guys, right? Sinner doesn't. Guys who are just going to rally with Sinner, Sinner's like, why are you doing this? Right? I know Djokovic is an exception, but Djokovic is the greatest of all time, so that's, Djokovic can do it all, right? But it is fun to see. So it's fun going into these matches and going, okay, well, if you don't have a big serve, or you're not going to use that serve in a big way, how are you going to test out Sinner, right? And I know it's not perfect. It's not perfect. Like, this is, 100% right for every single situation. There's obviously situations where Alcaraz has lost to guys who have big serves, or struggled against those guys, and Sinner has struggled against guys who are more consistent. But I'm talking like, obviously, Mickelson in the last round, big serve, big game. We talked about Fonseca in Miami, in Indian Wells, right? Big serving, big game. Menchik, right? Those are the more, the aggressive types that seem to trouble Sinner more. So if you don't play like that, or it's not your game, it's going to be very hard for you to beat Sinner rallying with him, right? And it's interesting because then you look at Alcaraz and they're so different in the way that, that's the hard part too, right? If they were the same type of player and you were just and you were a big hitter, then you would rate your chances against both of them if they both had that style. But because they're so different and they don't both, you have to play two completely different matches when you play them. You might beat Sinner by serving big and hitting massive shots, but that won't necessarily beat Alcaraz the next match because you got to beat him next, right? And then vice versa. You might beat Alcaraz by grinding him into the ground, but then you try and play like that against Sinner, he's going to eat you up, right? That's why it's so it's so tough. Unless you're an all-round versatile player, it's how the hell are you going to beat both of them? It's why it's never happened. Djokovic is the only one, and he did that before they became before Sinner became Sinner, and when Alcaraz was still a little bit shaky on the indoor courts, right? How are you going to beat that guy? You got to be Roger Federer. You've got to be so versatile to beat both of them back to back in a tournament. It's never happened, and maybe it never will, unless somebody comes out like a Delpo and just completely annihilates them with forehands and serves, and but it tough, man. Trying to beat both of them. Now, you could get lucky and you could have to, like this week, only have to play Sinner, right? You don't have to play Alcaraz if you're, Zverev, right? Or someone. But, man, it's you got to be, I don't know who, you got to be, you got to be someone. All right. Love 30, by the way. Rune has been the most successful guy under 30, right? Against Sinner and Alcaraz. At least, maybe under 25. Under 30, you can still say Zverev, right? Backhand goes in the slice of Sinner in there, 15-30. But yeah, Draper, I want to see him play Sinner soon so we can see what that's about. Obviously, we've just seen Fonseca. See what he can do. But yeah, it's the first person who'll beat Sinner and Alcaraz to win a title that's not Novak Djokovic is going to be the third big three member for sure. All right, Tiafoe back into the net. Breakpoint Sinner, 15-40. Yeah, we need a Nalbandian. Where's Nalbandian of... That might be Rune. Maybe Rune's the Nalbandian of this generation, right? 15-40. As Sinner returns in the forehand to Tiafoe into the backhand of Sinner. Tiafoe backhand. Into the Sinner backhand as we get a forehand from Foe now. Sinner up the line. Into the backhand of Foe. Sinner cross court. Forehand again to the forehand of Foe. And Sinner forehand in the net. All right, 30-40. All right, 30-40. Break point again for Sinner. Serve. Oh, it's an ace from Foe. Nice. Ace out wide. And we get the deuce. All right, deuce. There's a fault from Foe. Second serve. Ooh, double fault from Foe. Ah, man. Advantage Sinner. Now this is a free one. Advantage Sinner. To get the break in the second. First serve is a fault. Second serve. And Sinner returns. Into the back of Foe. Foe in the net. Bouncing the racket. Oh, man, it's got to be frustrating for Foe. The three times he's been broken, he's been in those games. It's been, 30 all or deuce. So he hasn't been, it sucks. It would have been way different if Sinner hit, 4 return winners and it was love 40 or something, right? Yeah, but that was not the case. All right. How are we doing, chat? Sinner wants to finish this quickly and then watch Italy against Northern Ireland in the World Cup qualifiers. Yeah, Italy's in trouble. They're not making it, right? So that's probably important. Yeah. Yeah. That's probably important that he watches that. I was really hoping that this would be more competitive. Yeah, I mean, I was as well, but, I'm also not surprised. We do have an hour until the next match, which kind of sucks. They've scheduled them out so that they spread them out a bit, but it's kind of annoying at this point. So we, yeah. By the way, Chad, I watched this movie last night. I've been watching a lot more 90s movies where the internet was new. And I watched a movie called The Net. It's so weird watching movies from the 90s about the internet. And then looking at the internet now, where the internet is now turned into most of our lives, right? I mean, we're literally on the internet right now. It's just so weird. It's so funny watching a movie that was it was a good movie. I thought it was going to be a terrible movie, but it was actually really good. Love 15. Have I watched Parasite? No. I haven't got it. I'm looking for it, but if I find it, I'll watch it. All right, first serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve, Sinner. And Tiafoe back into the net. Can't be doing that. 15-all. 15. Oh. You started watching Alias? Oh, nice. As that goes in from Sinner for a winner, it's 30-15. Is it like the movies nowadays regarding AI? No. It's about like, it's more about like internet. Like, it's not about like robots and no. It's about like it's like about the internet. 30-15. The return goes nowhere because it was an ace. 40-15. Watch Project Hail Mary. Yeah, I want to go see that this weekend. Parasite's a great movie. Yeah, I've heard it's great. 40-15. Sinner serving to consolidate the break. Great serve. All right, 3-1 Sinner. I saw it and it was good, but I'm not a sci-fi person. Pardon me, so I am a sci-fi person. Horror and sci-fi. I feel like are my go-to. And if they're combined, that's like a great movie. I love those kind of movies too. Yeah, it's 15 Love. The movie was too long. Okay. If this movie's 2 hours and you say that's too long, I'm going to freak. Was it 3 hours? Is that why? If it was 3 hours, I understand. It's 2 hours 30. Okay, I'll give you that. 2 hours 30 is a long movie. 2 hours and 30 is a long movie. You will love Project Hail Mary, okay? Is it based on a book? All right, 30 Love. As it is served now the back and Sinner. Return the net. 40 Love. Smile and Smile 2 for horror. Highly recommended. Yeah, I've watched Smile 1. I haven't watched the second one. 40 Love. Oh, you didn't notice how long it was? It was you were engaged the whole time throughout? Okay, well, that's good then. That means it was a good movie if you didn't notice the runtime. 40 Love. There's a backhand from Foe. Into the backhand Sinner as Tiafoe goes to forehand to Sinner. Backhand to backhand rally. As Tiafoe up the line goes wide on the backhand, and it's 40-15. I'm waiting for the Zendaya Robert Pattinson movie, The Drama. It's on my I've got that on my list as well. I want to go check that out too. All right, 40-15. Is it a backhand slice from Sinner? Good drop shot. And then a forehand goes wide by Foe. 40-30. Yeah, I got a lot of movies I want to go see. I want to go see Super Mario Galaxy. I want to go see Project Hail Mary, The Drama. There's something else coming out soon as well. Like those 3 movies are coming out soon. Actually, all those movies are coming out this week. Some of them are coming out next week. Scary Movie 6. I just want to see that and see what the hell that's all about. Spider-Man Brand New Day. As Tiafoe holds, 3-2. Toy Story 5. There's a lot of movies that I'm keen to see this year. Avengers Doomsday. Did I get to play mallet golf in Japan? It's a hoot. No, I didn't get to. I didn't get to stay in Japan long enough to do enough stuff. A lot of stuff I missed. Got rid of old DVDs and tapes. Nostalgic. You gotta get that shit back. You gotta go down. I tell you, this is what you do, right? Go down to a thrift store, right? Go to a charity store. Go down to your local thrift store. Oh yeah, Dune 3 as well. They got so many DVDs. I got like 1,000 on my wall. I went crazy. I got a whole wall of DVDs. And I've got a bunch of CDs. I've been listening to like the last couple of days. I don't know how I got onto Fleetwood Mac, but I started listening to that. Been listening to, I just got their, what did I just buy? I just got Rumors, and then I just got Stevie Nicks' Best Of. So I can't wait to get that. I'm not a hoarder. It's a collection. Deb, do you live in a house of nothing? You live in a house with nothing. Do you live in a house with just a couch and empty walls? Is that like... I feel like... Are you a minimalist? Because I feel like that's... If I'm a hoarder, I'm not a gatherer. It's a collector. It's a collection of things. I feel like, Deb, you're living in just a house with a chair. I'm not a hoarder. I'm a collector. Show us the wall of DVDs. Well, it's not in here. I don't have it here right now. I've got a collection of 300 DVDs, 300 CDs I'll never get rid of. Yes! That's what I'm talking about. Do you have a good, like, stereo to play it on? Have I ever seen Elevation, a sci-fi thriller? Elevation. No? Oh, did this just come out? No, I haven't seen it. I'll have to be on the lookout. All right. Sinner serving. He's got the break. This has been a pretty cruisy match. 1 hour played. 30 love. As a backhand return goes in the corner. Sinner. Sinner puts it in the net, though. And it's 30-15. Any favorite Oscar movies? The Shape of Water. I watched that the other couple of months ago. Great movie. $30-15. There Will Be Blood is one of my all-time favorite movies. Another great. Did that win an Oscar? That won Best Actor, right? As with a backhand now to the backhand of Sinner. Backhand from Tiafoe. As Sinner backhand with Sinner. Tiafoe backhand again to the slice of Sinner. Sinner hits it out. 30-all. Chance for Foe to get back on serve. Oh, it just escaped me. There was another movie that I was just about to say. Oh, God damn it. What was that other movie that I was going to say? 30-all. Can't remember. Oh, Spotlight. Great movie. As with a drop shot from Sinner is too good. Beautiful drop shot. 40-30. 40-30. Husband keeps old vinyl records. Love that. The Substance. I saw The Substance. That movie was wild. That was a crazy movie. 40-30. Serve. Is a fault from Sinner. Second serve. Yeah, I have to watch one battle after another. I haven't seen it yet. They're playing it at a cinema this weekend, so I might have to go check it out. Backhand goes into the forehand of Sinner. Up the line to the slice of Tiafoe. Sinner with a forehand inside out. Tiafoe backhand. Again, the forehand of Sinner. And it's Tiafoe backhand into the backhand of Sinner. And Sinner hits it long, and we get the deuce. All right. This is the closest Tiafoe's come to breaking. Any TV show recommendations? Because besides tennis, I have nothing to watch. Peaky Blinders. Because there's a movie coming out. Or did the movie come out? I have to go watch it. Peaky Blinders. is a great show. All right, serve. Into the backhand of Tiafoe. Backhand from Sinner up the line. Good shot. Bow in the net with the forehand. And it's advantage Sinner. The Pit is awesome. Okay. Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones. Yeah, they're all classic. Sopranos. Right. Advantage Sinner. Serving the back of Tiafoe, back into Sinner. Up the line to the forehand of Tiafoe. Sinner with the forehand in the net. All right, another little opportunity here. Back to deuce. Tiafoe entourage on their feet. Deuce. The Wire is a great series. Yeah, that's on my list. Serving the back and forward. Return goes short. In comes Sinner. Puts it away. Advantage Sinner to take the 4-2 lead. Have I watched The Bear? I have watched The Bear. I like The Bear. I think The Bear is good. Best part of The Bear, though, is Maddie Matheson. I've been binge watching his cooking videos. He's my favorite part of that show. He's not even in it that long. He's only in it he pops in every now and again. Succession was epic, yeah. Succession is another great show. Yeah. Succession, yeah. All right, advantage Sinner. Backhand return goes back into Sinner. Backhand from Foe in the net. 4-2, Sinner holds. There's a lot of good shows. All right, 4-2. Isn't it crazy, Chad, how there's more, there's really good TV shows now, but the movies seem to be a little bit lacking? It's because they turned TV shows into movies. TV shows are just long 10-episode movies, aren't they? The quality. Stranger Things, by the way, you should watch that. Yeah. It's weird how the movies have not... Because they're just all remaking stuff. Hardly any... Not as much originality, but if you look deep enough, there is. Weapons was great. Sinners apparently was really good. I haven't seen it yet. There's definitely some original stuff. You just gotta take the risk and go see it. Love 15, Foe in the net. You just got to risk seeing a shitty movie. They're not all going to be bangers. Love 15. As Foe serves the back of the Sinner, return. Into the slice of Tiafoe. It's a drop shot. Sinner backhand up the line. Tiafoe puts up a lob. Goes in. And Sinner hits a lovely smash down the line. That is a beautiful shot. What a smart shot. He didn't hit it with power. He just kind of finessed it into the corner with a bounce smash. Beautiful shot. Didn't need to hit it hard. Didn't need to hit it. He just placed it perfectly. That was so good. That was a great smash. That was such a smart smash. He could have. That was a Federer. That was a Federer shot. Didn't need to hit it hard. Didn't need to go for a crazy shot. He just I'm gonna just hit it over there, and you're not gonna get to it. That was a smoothest Federer. That was a Federer level bounce smash from Sinner. Love 40, by the way. Tiafoe in big trouble now. Yeah, no spoilers for any movies that are out at the moment that people want to see. Love 30. Love 40, sorry. Return from Sinner goes in, but it was a let. Oh, no, it was a winner. No, it was a let. It was a let. Tiafoe serves again. Into the back of the Sinner. Good return. Slice goes in from Tiafoe. Sinner with a forehand inside in. And Tiafoe forehand goes wide. Sinner too strong. 5-2. Sinner's going to serve the match. Wait, Saida, what movie are you worried about spoilers? What movie? Because if they've been out for like 6 months, then we can't help you. If you're talking about any movies that have come out recently, then we can. What time do you sleep when they play so late at night? I don't know. Whenever the match finishes, I don't really think of time as a. I just whenever they finish, that's the time. Don't really have a. It's not really. That's not how it works for me. Ready for some good movies from the W07 saga tonight? Yeah, I've got like a whole collection of James Bond movies that I've never seen. I've got like at least like 20 of them. It's crazy. I found them all for $1 each at a thrift store. We'll go on a James Bond kick for like a month, and I'll just watch one a day. When's Christmas in Australia? The same time as everywhere else. Only movie I'm looking forward to is Dune 3, okay? Cam's on the night shift, yeah. That is correct. I knew Sinner would beat him, sadly, yeah. Look, it's a shame that Tiafoe wasn't able to, hasn't been able to be more competitive. He's been broken 4 times. 3 of those breaks were avoidable. You know, if he gets the big serve at the right time, he can hold. That last one was just a Sinner clinic. All right, Sinner serving the match. As they're backing up the line of the forehand of Tiafoe. Forehand of Sinner. Again to the forehand of Tiafoe. Sinner up the line, forehand win up. 15-love. This is the best match Sinner's played all week. 15-love. All those things we were talking about the last 2 matches where he looked a little shaky on the forehand and things were looking a little bit dodgy. He wasn't playing his best. I mean, today is just flawless. 15-love. Hasn't faced a break point. I mean, this is the Sinner, the level of Sinner that we expect. Oh, as he hits the ball straight into Tiafoe and Big Foe takes it into the ribs. 30-love. I mean, we'll talk about stats, but Sinner is playing, like, this is just phenomenal level. Not only has he been at a high 9 for the entire match, not only is he at a high 9 right now, but he's been a high 9 for the entire match. Like, he dipped to like an 8.2 in the middle of the first set, but he's been like up here the entire time. He's been at over like a 9.5 or higher for most of the match. He's got a backhand return. The backhand is Sinner. Up the line is good. Just too good. 40-love. And all his shot quality across the board has just been ridiculous. And we'll talk about that in a second as well. Match points. 40-love. Sinner to take his spot in the semis. Keep the sunshine double dream alive. Serve. Is an ace down the tee. There it is. Sinner with the flex. Just reminding us all that, even though he had a little bit of a disappointing couple of matches where he wasn't as sharp as he could be, he just went, oh, well, now it's the quarterfinals. Now I'll play properly. That's such a Djokovic flex, right? That's what Djokovic did, or does, right? He gets through the first rounds, and then he gets to the quarter. He's like, oh, now we're ready. Now we're playing. Oh, we're here now? Okay, 8 players left? All right, I'll show you what I can do. He just was saving it. He's just saving it. All right, let's talk about things. So performance rating at a 9.7. That might have been the best level he's played all year. 9.7 was Sinner for the performance rating. A 6.7 for Tiafoe, which is disappointing, but that is still above his average. But it wasn't obviously anywhere near what Sinner's average is a 9, which is crazy. Shot quality for the serve for Sinner was a 9.4. 8.7 on return, 9.6 on the forehand, and an 8.3 on the backhand. Crazy. Sinner with a 33 winners, 15 errors. Tiafoe with the 7 winners, 4 of those were aces, and 16 errors. But Sinner that was a clinic. That was a flex. Like, Sinner just went, you know what? I'm going to show everybody what I can really do. That was a serious Sinner reminder of why he's why he's him. That was a Brazil 1 Germany 1-0 1-7. Yeah, but I don't think I mean, Brazil Germany. I remember I was in Vegas when that match happened, when that game happened. There was a lot more. That was supposed to be a lot closer, whereas this wasn't supposed to be close. I don't think many people were giving Tiafoe a shot to win, but it's just a shame that it was. I mean, he just came up against the a guy who was just out here to prove that the Mickelson match was nothing to be worried about. Sinner's going to win the whole thing. Well, we'll see. Zverev is still in the draw. I would not be counting out Zverev. Tiafoe needs to improve that second service. Dreadful. Look, I think we can give Big Foe a pass in this matchup. I don't think we should be looking at this match and being like, man, Tiafoe's game is not up to scratch. It's like he just played Sinner, who was playing ridiculous. Like I don't think we should be looking at Tiafoe in a bad way in this one. Foe had a great week. He got to the quarterfinals. Just coming up against this guy I think most players would have lost to this guy today. Like, I don't think this Sinner's not losing this tournament. So I don't think we should be too critical of Foe. Like when you're playing this guy, I mean, yeah, he's obviously going to hit more errors than winners when he's playing against Sinner, right? Because he's going to be going for more shots. You know, he's going to feel the pressure of have to be more aggressive, all that stuff. So I'm not mad at Foe for that. He was very unlucky. There was a couple of games where, like the first game of the match, he was up 40-15, he got broken, right? That hurt. The 3 of the 4 breaks that he gave, 3 of the 4 breaks that he gave up he was in those games, right? He was 30-0, he was deuce. So yeah, I mean, I don't think we can be too critical of Foe today when he played against a guy like that. Just a bad matchup as well, right? I think Foe's probably going to be more competitive against an Alcaraz. You know, as we've seen in the past, he's been more competitive, you know, against Alcaraz, right? Because Sinner gives you nothing. He gives you nothing. Can't rally with Sinner. Was Feast Paul match of the tournament last night? I think it was match of the year. Yeah. I think that was match of the year. I mean, it was phenomenal, that match. Go watch the highlights. It did not disappoint. Still Zverev in the draw. Never underestimate Zverev. Can beat him. Well, that's what I keep saying. Do I think Zverev would beat him? No. But is Zverev still a threat? Hell yes. Underestimating Zverev is a bad idea. Feast versus Zverev will be good. Versus Sinner will be good. I'm scared that Feast is not going to have enough gas in the tank to play Sinner, though. I'd rather have seen Sinner versus Feast in like the 4th round. I think it might be a little bit too much for Feast. Has had a phenomenal week. I love how Feast has been playing, but I don't know if he's going to be able to have enough in the tank to play the final against Sinner. I'd much rather see him play a 4th round or a quarterfinal in Monte Carlo. You know. How many in a row has Zverev lost to Jannik? 4? 4 or 5? And there's been a couple of bad beats. Look, I'm not saying... I didn't say Sinner was going to lose to Zverev, but I said Zverev shouldn't be underestimated. Zverev has the capability... Just like Medvedev against Alcaraz, right? I mean, we all went into that, me included, thinking that, Alcaraz should win this. But Medvedev also was capable. I think we got to look at Zverev the same for Sinner. Last week, Zverev said that he was trying out a few different things and was experimenting against Sinner, and that's why it didn't work. So he wasn't mad at his performance last week, Zverev, which I think is encouraging. Whereas when he got beaten really badly in Paris in 20, or even in the ATP finals, I think those were bad, worse losses because he was thinking, shit, I played my game and I still lost. Whereas he's like, hey, look, last week when I played him in Indian Wells, I was trying a few different things. They didn't pay off. Okay. So he wasn't that mad at himself, which is interesting. That he would use a semi-final to play a different style and try something. But you got to try something else because, what's going on isn't working. So, yeah. So, again, underestimating Zverev is madness. If Zverev serves well, we know that he is capable. I'm in Italy, Canadian-born, but on vacation. Local bar waiting for the Italy North Island game to start, and people are crazy about Sinner as they are about soccer. Hey, nice. That sounds like a fun afternoon. Going to, I remember I was in, where was I? For the 2020, I was traveling through America for the 2014 World Cup. And I remember watching, that was in Rio, right? I remember going to walking, I think it must have been New Orleans maybe. And I was walking around and I went to a gas station to get water because it was hot. And I remember they had there was a Colombia versus somebody penalty shootout on the TV. And there was just about 10 people standing there watching it. And I just hung out. It was so crazy. That's such a cool vibe. And in 2018, I was in Southeast Asia, and even that was when the French would play, the bars would be packed. England, when they would play, it would just be packed. That's so much fun. Watching the World Cup when you're in another country is really fun. I highly recommend it. Being in another country for World Cup is fun. Even if it's not the host nation, just traveling during the World Cup is such a fun thing. People get so into it. I guess Big Fo got schooled. Yeah, look, but Sinner's ridiculous, Jannik will never underestimate Zverev. Yeah, exactly. I'm saying don't underestimate Zverev as in everybody in the chat. Not Sinner won't. Sinner knows. Australia is not a fun place to be. You don't really love football. In Africa is crazy. Hey, Trishan, have you been to Australia? You're just coming in here and... Do you know that? Have you been here? Although, by the way, totally false. You've never been here, so you don't know. You have no idea. I was in Dubai when Argentina won. It was crazy, yeah. I'm an Italian living abroad, but I can confirm Italy is literally football, Ferrari, and Jannik. He's so big right now, he's everywhere. That's awesome. I was in Sydney for the Rugby World Cup for Ireland, England, and Australia, yeah. Australia hosted the Women's World Cup. Exactly. And that went crazy. I'm going to a match of the World Cup, Belgium versus New Zealand. Oh, nice. Go England, yeah. England is so funny during World Cups. It is always very funny to watch England. Or to watch English supporters during World Cups. It's always very funny. You kind of feel as an Australian, we never have any hope of winning the World Cup, but it's always fun to just be like to just kind of watch the English support as it gets to the semis and see what happens. I went to Six Nations. Wales got schooled by France. That sucks. We've got about 30 minutes until the next match, by the way. There's a bit of a break. If Sinner wins Miami, he could be back at number 1 in Monte Carlo. Well, that's what they're saying. Sinner versus Feast final, okay. Do you think Sabalenka is going to beat Swiatek's record at number 1, 125 weeks? She's already at 81 or 82 weeks now. I mean, she's still 40 weeks away. And remember, that's like a whole another year. Like Swiatek's got a year on her. Is Sabalenka gonna catch Swiatek? Maybe, but then Raducanu is rocking. Coco, she's not out of it. So yeah, I mean, she should get. She could. I don't know. I don't think I don't know. I don't think Sabalenka's number 1 ranking is going to be secure. But it's going to be up for grabs soon. If Raducanu keeps going her way. Have I ever come to Switzerland? Yeah. I went to Basel. And then I did a road trip from Basel to Zurich and back. It was great. Is Sinner skipping Monte Carlo if he wins Miami? I don't think so. Unless something happens. Monte Carlo could be a huge swing of points, 2,000 potentially if Alcaraz loses early, which is unlikely, but Sinner wins. Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting event. And there's a lot of Italian support in Monte Carlo. A lot of Italians show up to that, so I feel like a home ground. So yeah. If Sinner wins both Miami and Monte Carlo, he takes number 1. But does that matter? What if Alcaraz makes the final though? Does that not matter? Does Alcaraz making the final in Monte Carlo not matter though? It doesn't matter. Oh, okay. Fair enough. So it's all on Sinner's hands. That's good. It means it's all into Sinner. It's all up to Sinner then. Plus, Sinner lives there. Everybody lives there. Everybody lives there. No one can challenge Sinner anymore, not even Alcaraz. Okay. I mean, Sinner today showed like why he is near unstoppable. It'll be 13,400 points to 13,240. That's crazy. They're both of them on 13,000 points. It's crazy. That's crazy. Excited to see Vacheroff for the first time in front of his home crowd. Yeah, that'd be so much fun. That'd be such a cool moment for him. What's next match? We've got Gauff versus Mukova coming up in about 20 minutes. Alcaraz still number one. Let's not write him off yet. Exactly. That's just silly talk coming from a Jannik fan. I still think Alcaraz highs are higher, but Sinner is probably more consistent. Yeah, I mean that's the general what is it? The general view, right? Is that Sinner is more consistently high level, but Alcaraz's level is higher when they're both playing at their highest level, right? It's just it's that Alcaraz has had, and I'm not saying he's lost to two players that are very dangerous. But yeah, I mean, if Alcaraz maintains his level consistently, he is going to be unstoppable, as he was in Australia, as he was, to start the season. But Sinner, he plays at his level more often, right? He doesn't have dips like Alcaraz can have dips. By the way, Alcaraz hasn't had a bad, he's only just lost matches that are very close. Same with Sinner. Sinner and Alcaraz have not played bad matches this year. They've just lost close matches this year or been outplayed. Korda and Menchik are almost the exact same result. They're not bad. They're just they're upsets, but they're not bad matches. Sinner and Alcaraz both played well, and then Medvedev and Djokovic, losing to those guys, they're Grand Slam champions, former world number ones. Those matchups, those losses shouldn't be seen as bad, right? So I think right now, Sinner and Alcaraz are neck and neck when it comes to who's been better this year, who's better right now. I don't think there's a clear favorite. I think they're both. It's just that recency bias says Sinner, right? Everybody's going to say Sinner right now because Alcaraz lost and Sinner's winning, right? But to start the year, the player of the year right now, I mean, it's probably Alcaraz because he won a Grand Slam and that's worth more and it's bigger. But yeah, I would say that Sinner and Alcaraz right now are neck and neck, unless Sinner loses to Zverev, and then Alcaraz has been the best player so far this year. But if Sinner loses before the end of the tournament, it could be to Zverev, and if it is, then Alcaraz would have had a better season. But again, I think Alcaraz and Sinner this year, there is no clear favorite to who's been better. Alcaraz started better, Sinner's been better lately. And going to the clay, I think they're neck and neck, right? Even on points, I think isn't like the race to the finals neck and neck as well. Zverev could lose tonight for sure. That's definitely a possibility. Which clay court event am I most hyped for? Roland Garros. But outside of that, Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo is epic. All right. And it's a 1 week Masters, which I think after these 4 weeks we'll appreciate a lot. We'll be happy to have a 1 week Masters, especially if it's as packed as it's supposed to be. Sunshine double over Australian Open. Yeah, some people say that, but I'm saying slams are more. By the way, Sunshine double or Korea Grand Slam. So I think you're underestimating real David. I think you're underestimating. By the way, real David. Who's the fake David? I'm sure there's a lot of Davids in the world. Sunshine double. I think you're just saying Australian Open. I think you should say Sunshine double versus Korea Grand Slam. I think you're underselling his Australian Open as if he just won a Grand Slam. Grand Slam over. No. You got to remember what he was doing that week. What was at stake. I think you're underselling it by saying Sunshine double is better than Australian Open. It's not. That wasn't just any Australian Open. That was the one to complete the set. So Sunshine double versus Korea Slam is a more accurate assessment of that. So don't undersell that Australian Open. All right, Sinner wins by the way, 2-2. And he's going to take on the winner of tonight's match between Cerundolo and Zverev. But we're getting to the semifinals for the ladies. Gauff versus Mukova. Mukova's never done well against Coco. She hasn't beaten her before. So let's see if she can make a change today. and see if she can actually be competitive, because she's been so good this week, Mukova. But Sinner wins, beats Foe in straights. I'll see you in about 10.